Oh, no wonder. That's one. Hello.
Thank you, Minister. Everybody in the house, good morning to our colleagues in the media, those joining us here and also by live stream. Thank you for honoring our invitation. My name is Tabeka Matai. I'm the Ministry spokesperson at Employment and Labour. We are with the top management of the department. We are with the Minister of Employment and Labour, Mr. Meth, the Acting Director General, Mr. John Manza, as well as the top management and provincial chief directors. We are also joined by members of the portfolio committee as well as the Union Federation leadership. And the purpose of the briefing today is for the Minister to take us through the 100-day report. And I will now take this time to hand over to the Minister.
Thank you, MLO. It's in the afternoon, okay? Excuse me, please understand my kids didn't sleep, so they are not sure if it's afternoon or morning. Good afternoon to you, program directors. Good afternoon to our whip of the portfolio committee, Mr. Nonsele, the Honorable Nonsele, our acting DG, our DDGs, our union leadership, the social partners, our provincial heads who are here to come and give account of the work that we did as a team. Because what we're presenting here is the work that we did, all of us, since the beginning of the civil administration. Good morning to all, or even, good afternoon to all officials, and in particular our friends, the media. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to you, the media, for attending this session. You serve as an essential medium between the department and the clients we serve. And I deeply appreciate the time you have set aside to be here today. It would be thoughtless of me not to acknowledge the crucial role in education, information sharing, and holding us to account your contributions and role. And for that, I thank you sincerely, even in the role that you played in the first 100 days to ensure that we are seen and we are felt by the citizens of South Africa. You made us to be even seen by the president of the republic. And by so doing, you made us to be mentioned also by the president when he delivered his report as ANC president on the work that the ANC has done in the first 100 days in office. My advisors who are here, greetings to yourselves, Ms. Lutane and Advocate Bono. It is an honor and privilege to address you today regarding the Ministry of Employment and Labour's first 100 days. I'm honored to serve the nation in my capacity as the Minister of Employment and Labour, together with the two deputy ministers, who unfortunately the other one will join us because, as I said, I ran from the cabinet. I had to live here in the cabinet, and since I came here, but unfortunately the Honourable Speaker had another commitment that was an emergency that he had to attend to. So, three of us, following our appointment by His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa, we are honored to serve the nation. It is important to note that for us, the first 100-day mark is not an endpoint, but the beginning of many more initiatives to better serve our clients and the community at large and fulfill the mandate of job creation and protection of vulnerable workers. This is a significant occasion wherein we report on the first 100 days in office following the establishment of the ANC-led Government of National Unity, which is characterized by several principles such as transparency, accountability, integrity, and good governance. These are the principles we have embraced as a department as we embark on the execution of our strategic objectives. We are seized with the mammoth task of changing the trajectory of our economy into one that resonates with the resolve of the journey to nudge actions that will advance the three priorities of the journey, which are to drive inclusive economic growth and job creation. This is an apex priority of the three priorities, speaking directly to our mandate as a department. 2, to reduce poverty and tackle high cost of living. And 3, to build a capable, ethical, and developmental state. We hit the ground running with the deputy ministers getting acquainted with the department, strengthening cooperation with organized labor, organized business, social partners, and civil society, participating in all parliamentary processes and ensuring accountability to portfolio committee, to cabinet, to select committee, to cluster committees. And during the first 100 days in office, we have aligned our strategic plan 2025-2030 of the department to the GNU strategic priorities and principles espoused by the statement of intent of this Government of National Unity. Allow me to now outline the work done by providing highlights of various activities. This is not on a summary of what we're reporting to the communities or to the citizens. It just highlights. We will issue a proper report on the work that is detailed, on the work that we've done in the first 100 days in office. On portfolio committees and parliamentary work, the department appeared before the Portfolio Committee on Employment and Labor to present the 2024-2025 Annual Performance Plan of the department on the 9th of July 2024. On the 11th of July, we presented the budget vote number 31 of Employment and Labor to the mini plenary of the National Assembly. We also received the Auditor General's report on the department and its entities, which was then later presented to the Portfolio Committee. On the 18th of September, we presented the department and its entities' annual report as an instrument for accounting for the work done in the previous year. We also participated in the economic cluster questions and answer session in the National Assembly. That one was baptism with fire. Answered 20 questions, one day, one after another. In the next 2 weeks, the Department of Employment and Labor is taking National Labor Migration Policy to Cabinet, which seeks to better regulate the migrant labor system in South Africa. This is a significant development in the labor market space, and I call upon the citizens and the media to watch the developments in this regard. During the first 100 days, we prioritized and participated in various key department initiatives. Even at an operational level, we were responsible to oversight. The senior management, the administration is led by the DG. As they are seated here, they know our oversight. They know what is called the necessary positive tension of putting them here, holding them to account. These initiatives have increased the department's visibility and also improved legislative compliance, provided services to the communities, and enhanced the department's image. I'm sure that many of you have been following the buzz in the media space about the work of the department. On inspections and enforcement activities, the role of inspection and enforcement is critical in safeguarding workers' rights, ensuring compliance with labor laws, and upholding fair practices. This priority speaks directly to the need for enhanced capacity in our labor inspectorate, ensuring that the protections afforded by our laws are implemented on the ground. The inspections were conducted jointly with the Department of Home Affairs, the Department of Transport, the South African Police Services, the Hawks, The bargaining council was also part of us as we visited many sectors in the business sector, including hospitality. We went to automotive sectors, we went to the farming communities or the agricultural industry, and so on and so on. Because there's a lot of work that we did across the country. I'm just mentioning a few of those sectors. We have jointly conducted more successful inspections, leading to many arrests of employers as well as undocumented immigrants. Our high impact inspections and compliance rates targeted hospitality, road and freight, textile, car manufacturing and farming, as I said earlier on, and these are high on non-compliance with the labor laws. During these inspections, we addressed non-standard employment practices that render workers vulnerable. We contributed to job preservation by ensuring that employed individuals enjoy the protection of their rights, which in turn enhances productivity and economic growth. During the first 100 days, the following statistics outline the inspections and enforcement activities carried out. 17,662 national inspections were conducted, and of these, 12,195 workplaces were compliant, while 5,494 workplaces found to be non-compliant, and as such, the enforcement notices were issued. The total value of the notices was 24,266,758 rand. On public employment services, in our effort to tackle unemployment head-on, the public employment services during the first 100 days achieved the following: 772,488 work seekers were registered on the ISA system. 52,511 work seekers were placed in registered work and learning opportunities through YF, which is 3,599 on projects and learnerships, and 180,474 work seekers housing. We've got a program we termed Operation Yazini, Know Your Ministry, that is our department or Ministry of Employment and Labor. We introduced located services and mandate. We took services to the people, working closely with the sister departments and the private sector, reaching the most remote areas of our country. The communities we visited include Mpopomeni in Umgeni municipality, just to mention a few, in KZN, Mgangato in Tabankulu municipality in the Eastern Cape, where we're partnering with the traditional leadership to celebrate the Heritage Day, Fitzbek in Setsoto municipality in Free State, Kwazakele in Nelson Mandela Bay municipality, and more. If I were to list the lot of work that we've done, it would take the whole day. Every Friday we have declared it to be Dell Friday, which is dedicated to taking service closer to the people and try to up the visibility of the department. On strengthening stakeholder relations at home and abroad, we have continuous engagement with organized labor, business and social partners through various events, including the NETLEC Summit, Inspectors Conference, signing of Occupational Health and Safety Accord, Steel and Engineering Industries Federation of Southern Africa Conference for Engineering and Mining Professionals, and the Construction Health and Safety Conference. We have participated in and supported the presidential imbizos and national calendar events by having week-long build-up events and taking services during the imbizos or National Events Day. Be it the National Women's Day, we were there in Northern Cape, be it the Heritage Day, we were there in Free State, be it the presidential imbizos. We went there and we had built-up programs for the whole week, and then we were present during the day of the event or of the imbizo. We'll continue strengthening partnerships and collaborations with our public and private stakeholders and civil society. We firmly believe that working together will do more. South Africa's active participation in regional and continental multilateral fora amplifies its influence on global issues impacting the African continent, particularly youth unemployment and migration. Collaborating with international bodies such as G20 enhances South Africa's ability to foster labor mobility and improvement across Africa, driving economic stability and regional labor market development for shared prosperity. As we assume the leadership of the G20 this year from Brazil, and we will be hosting next year, we intend to increase our collaboration and partnership efforts with developed countries to strengthen economic growth for more jobs. We attended meetings both in Brazil and Russia, that is G20 and the BRICS respectively, and those meetings served as critical platforms to formally launch our G20 presidency for 2025, was ensuring that South Africa's voice is influencing the global discourse on employment and social protection issues is maintained. We met with several leaders representing various institutions such as the International Labour Organization, Director General, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, Secretary General, and International Social Security Association Secretary General to canvass their support for our presidency. We also advanced our priorities for endorsement by other G20 member states, which was affirmed. On temporary employee relief scheme budget, during this period, we have announced an increase in the budget for temporary employee relief scheme from 400 million to 2.4 billion rand for the current financial year. This significant boost aims to shelter companies in distress and prevent employee layoffs amid unstable economic conditions. The increase in the TERS budget is a proactive response to volatile economic trends that threaten the livelihoods of impoverished workers and sustainability of the businesses. Our goal is to preserve jobs and support companies facing difficulties. Furthermore, increasing the scheme's capacity aims to reduce the risk of further retrenchments and support economic stability. We urge interested companies to visit the CCMA for the temporary employee relief scheme for more information about TERS and application procedures. During the COVID-19 pandemic, 65 billion rand was made available as a temporary relief for employers' employees. Phase 3 of the Follow the Money project started in October 2024. We had a project that we had initiated by my predecessor to follow up on the issues of alleged corruption in the use of that 65 billion rand. So as the first phase, we sanctioned audit firms to go and audit and see and investigate what had happened. Hence, we are saying now we are on another phase where we have appointed the companies just in October 2024. This project aims to verify the payment. We continue now with that because the first lot was finished. We are awaiting now the closeout report. So we are dealing with phase 3 of that, ensuring that we continue, and we appointed 215 companies under COVID TERS relief scheme to continue to follow the money. To date, the project, the one that started, has recovered 1.2 billion rand since starting. Initially, the aim was to verify 50% of the amount paid, and now we want to verify the entire amount. Consequently, 27 audit firms have been appointed, as I said, and phase 3 commenced in October. 96 fraud cases were identified, 40 were presented to the court, and all were finalized. The highest conviction was 20 years of direct imprisonment. The work of our entities, we have got 4 entities accountable to us as the department and the ministry. National Council Network, consultations on the amendment of Labour Relations Act, Basic Conditions of Employment Act, Employment Equity Act, and the National Minimum Wage Act at Network are nearing finalization. Our intention is for these amendments to assist the country in the fight against unemployment and poverty, National Employment Policy, National Migration Policy, Employment Services Amendment Bill, Occupational Health and Safety, Employment Equity Regulations, and National Labour Migration Policies are the ones that we are also dealing with, and others are very advanced in terms of the processes. We shall be presenting them soonest to Cabinet for approval and processing to Parliament. Presidential Youth Employment Initiative seek to recruit 140,000 teacher assistants under the Labour Activation Program. We've got that program under presidential with employment of teacher assistants that we shall be recruiting for the next financial year. And we have allocated 4 billion rand to that regard. And again, we've got partnership with Department of Small Businesses through their agency, which has since been put together. It used to be SILDA and SIFA, and we have approved this partnership with the Small Enterprise Development Agency, now restructured as Small Enterprise Development and Finance Agency, SIDFA, that is combination of SIFA and SIDA. This partnership is valued at 1 billion rand and 48,660,000 rand, and is jointly funded by UIF, contributing 50% towards grant, and Department of Small Business Development will be contributing another 50% towards loan. The project aims to support 7,200 small enterprises and aspiring entrepreneurs for employment creation. On the CCMA, it has achieved a clean audit for the third consecutive year, exemplifying conduct of clean governance we strive for across our operations. During this reporting period, the CCMA saved over 18,000 jobs at risk of retrenchment. We are proud of the CCMA and Productivity South Africa for their clean audits. Productivity South Africa has partnered with Unemployment Insurance Fund on a business turnaround and recovery program with a total budget value of just over 165 million. The objective of this program is to prevent job losses. The department will launch through this program, 226 enterprises will be supported and 11,300 jobs will be saved over the next years. Productivity SA supported 617 SMEs and trained 1,303 entrepreneurs. On the 25th of October this year, Productivity South Africa held 45th National Productivity Awards. The awards were to recognize the outstanding achievements made by businesses through the Business Turnaround and Recovery Program. The Competitiveness Improvement Services Program aimed to supporting SMMEs and the new category of quality and productivity showcase and improvements. Gold, silver, and bronze winners represented their provinces in all three categories. And our next step now is going to the Africa competition, or Africa Awards. We will be joining the KZN, which is the term borrowed from the awards of the African continent. On supported employment enterprises, following our visit, we visited the factory in Babeja, and we supported the supported employment enterprises received office furniture order from the mayoral committee members of Nelson Mandela Bay Metro, a commitment by the mayor in particular to say, working with their officials, they make sure using the policy of set aside that they empower and support that SEE factory of ours in Nelson Mandela. This highlights the importance of strategic partnerships and engagement between various spheres of government. On strengthening institutional capacity, through Project 20,000, we intend to supplement inspectorate capacity with 20,000 interns over the medium term and expand supported employment enterprises and health and wellness initiatives. We visited various communities, partnering with traditional leaders, as I said earlier on, in the private sector, recognizing the importance of our stakeholders. We have since met with COSATU and RUSA, and will go and meet the entire organized labor, even though we've been working with them through NETLEC, the conferences and summits that I've mentioned before. We also visited and met with senior managers and staff in certain provinces, and will continue to do so until we reach all corners of this ministry and department. Already, I have set my foot in programs in 5 provinces, and I'm left with 4 provinces. Because of competing demand, I wanted to finish the first 100 days having went to all provinces. In the next 5 years, we have set out 7 critical priorities as our own priorities in our medium, in our 5-year strategic plan. The first one is to strengthen our regulatory capabilities by carefully assessing how labor law reforms will influence our strategic and operational planning. Various change drivers, including technology, demographics, shape our approach to regulating employment conditions, significantly impacting to enforce compliance and address labor market challenges. Our discussions on this topic are vital in ensuring that the department remains adaptable and responsive to the needs of South Africans. The second priority is enhancing the coordination of employment interventions by finding synergies with sister departments and entities supporting residential youth employment initiatives and improving the performance of the labor activation program. As a vehicle to activate employment, the Employment Services of South Africa is regulated so employers can utilize it to coordinate employment management. Labor law reforms are being prioritized to be responsive to economic imperatives, benefiting both employees and employers, including the National Labor Migration Policy, National Employment Policy, and Employment Services Amendment Bill. Thirdly, we are focusing on good corporate governance by improving the audit outcomes by the Auditor General of South Africa and internal audits, ensuring the efficient functioning of statutory bodies and committees, and maintaining zero tolerance for corruption, maladministration, and poor performance. By introducing Ministerial Excellence Awards, we aim to encourage high performance by recognizing good performers and boosting staff morale, which will be annual Ministerial Excellence Awards. Fourthly, we are improving service delivery by unbundling the Unemployment Insurance Fund and Compensation Fund, reconfiguring the Department of Labor into Department of Employment Labor, improving the functioning and impact of temporary employer-employee relief scheme, expanding the work of the business turnaround and recovery program to save more jobs, and extending and resuscitating the ex-mine workers outreach with other government departments and entities. Fifthly, we are strengthening the department's institutional capacity by focusing on the health and wellness of their family officials. As we said, we shall be injecting more inspectors. Sixthly, the sixth priority, we are enhancing the marketing and communication of departmental services and programs by continuing with Operation Yazini, Know Your Ministry, and dedicating Dell Fridays to highlight the department's and its entities' excellent work. Finally, and priority number 7, we are advancing the department's new employment mandate by focusing on establishing public-private partnerships with government, business, labor, and international agencies and civil society. We have used the 100 days as a litmus test to determine that all 7 priorities can yield positive results, and ours now is to speed up the work already started. We unpack the details of the first 100 days in our report provided today in printed form and also available in the Employment and Labor website. We urge you to visit www.labor.gov.za. Let me take this opportunity to express our sincere gratitude to President Ramaphosa for his confidence in us. We stand on the shoulders of the giants such as the late Employment and Labor Ministers, Tito Mboweni and Membatis Mzanga, and solid leaders within the department. May their souls rest in soul. May their souls rest in peace. I think I'm tired now. Yeah. Thank you so much to the Deputy Ministers for their leadership, the Acting Director General, and all senior managers and personnel of our department and the ministry, led by the advisors. We must work together and continue with the commitment of ensuring that we achieve our goals for the 7th administration. Thank you again, media representatives, for attending this session. I call upon all stakeholders and community to commit to working together to realize our goals and aspirations for the labor sector.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you. Thank you for taking us through the report. The report is also, it's available. We printed a leaflet, so you just need to scan the QR code and it will be available there. Minister will now take questions from the floor. And please introduce yourselves, the organization you represent, and do we have any hands?
Hello, Minister. Shakira Thebas from the Cape Argus newspaper. You're in the Western Cape right now. Can you Can you say what your department has identified as key issues or focus areas for the Western Cape, particular to this province? After the George building collapse, there was a massive crackdown on undocumented foreign nationals, massive site visits to construction sites. A number of sites were also temporarily closed. Could you just elaborate on focus areas for the Western Cape, please?
Thank you, Shakira. Then we had a question.
Thank you so much. Minister, prior to the commencement of this session, I took a very brief moment to browse through this leaflet. And one of the things that stood out for me is bullet number 9, which is the National Minimum Wage, Act 9 of 2018. Minister, the issue of the minimum wage is one of the challenges that survived at the end of apartheid. And my question is the department doing enough to ensure that the national labor law is being effectively applied in workplaces within the province and the rest of South Africa by extension?
Thank you. Do we have another question? Thank you, Minister. Do we have a question?
Okay, I missed the name for the second question.
So you're the only one from Zimbabwe.
Okay, this is a media briefing. So I'm allowed to delegate for difficult questions and also for detail, because it is important that we don't just make high-level statements. We give opportunity to use this platform. And that's why we brought this big team to be with us, so that they can talk briefly on detail on what we are doing, in particular on the issue of the progress we are making in dealing with the issue of the George building collapse. But I understand that it's not only that, that the construction is a problematic industry in terms of non-compliance, but also Western Cape has got a lot of agricultural activities. So it's a farming community overall. It's another area that we are interested to focus on here in doing our inspection on the compliance of the laws. But again, you know that you've got a lot that is happening in the sea in terms of the ocean's economy. There are other issues that have happened of the ship and the collapse and all that, people that ended up disappearing and drowning in their souls. Rest in peace, because at the end we had to accept that there was a proposal that they must be declared to be no more. So there's a lot of interest both in the oceans economy space, fisheries, and dealing with all those who work in the sea. That will be our next focus area. Of course, even Western Cape, in particular Cape Town, is a huge. All other sectors, be it hospitality sector and the likes, we are aiming to look at that. But for a detail in terms of saying at least what have we done after the collapse of the building, I think it would be fair if we give at least Inspector General to just shed some light on that one. On the national minimum wage, again, I'm with expert Mr. Mkhalifi with the DPG for Labour Policy and Industrial Relations will help us to go into detail to say what is the challenge now. But we have seen that the employers choose in trying to avoid compliance, in particular on the issue of the national minimum wage, to run for the vulnerable foreign nationals that come, others seeking refugee in our country, others coming as visitors, others coming as students, and then they take them and abuse them and use them as employees. Want to comply. Hence, then, in us inspecting these establishments, in particular the hospitality sector and others that have been mentioned, we find that in the space where you're supposed to get a South African or a legal foreign national you get somebody who's not supposed to be at work, having been employed, and in that process being abused because they are not paid, they've got no rights. That's why we'll continue ensuring that the issue of national minimum wage and all other labor laws are complied with, regardless of who is found to be abused. We shall protect it in the foreign nationals. Because them being vulnerable, not knowing what is their right, in majority of cases, they get to be a target of the employers who want to avoid implementing South African laws. But as I said, I can give to DG John Khalifi to talk on the issue of national minimum wage and saying, are we doing enough as government, and also allow briefly DG Moilo to talk on inspections, in particular the construction sector compliance and the George building matter. Just briefly, not in detail.
Thank you, Minister. I think, Minister, what is important is this question of minimum wage is about enforcement. You made an announcement just a week ago, 2 weeks ago, about employing 20,000 interns to beef up our inspection enforcement. Therefore, to deal with the issue that we are raising, that strategy that we put in place, the money that we're spending to employ 20,000 over the next 5 years, they're not going to come at one go. It's going to be over the next 5 years, and that is going to help us in ensuring that not only the minimum wage, the basic condition of employment, sectoral determination that still exists, need to be enforced, and with the inspectors, and also the actions that have been taken by the Inspector General going out and inspection the retail sector, the restaurants. We will be going other sectors. I mean, the Inspector General will speak on that herself.
Thank you, Minister. Just to add on what Mr. Khalifi said, can give you audited statistics in terms of the work that you've done in the national minimum wage space. You've asked a question, is it enough? We believe that in the context of the resources that we have and the work that you've gone out there to do, it is more than enough. So for the financial year 23-24 audited, we did more than 165,000 inspections just to test compliance with national minimum wage. And to that effect, we also enforced an amount of over 102 million. And I'm talking about money that was paid back to the employees out there that were being underpaid. So for me, there is impact. And in the space of construction, in general, we did high impact blitz inspections because construction is one of the 3 highest sectors in terms of risks. So our inspections are risk-based and hence directing the resources in that regard. And so nationally, we've done those type of blitz inspections. But specifically in the Western Cape, as we're talking right now and this week, we've gone out full steam with partnering with the ILO. We are on an education drive, raising awareness. The first leg is going to be happening here in Cape Town, and the next leg this week on Friday, it is going to be happening in George itself, because we believe that just inspecting is not enough. We also need to educate people so that together we're able to play our role.
Okay, there's information that I missed here. I was whispering to my teacher. It is important now that we are talking to the citizens of South Africa. This big program that we are running of labor activation, program, so that people don't think it disappeared in the thin air. They, as I joined the department, there were 333 applicants that were being processed. And there was a lot of work done by my predecessor, but in the process of him going to issue out letters of those who were qualified, there was an intervention from presidency to do property, having learned from COVID-19, things that happened there, to make sure that our processes are above board. Then we followed that with the property. Now 117 companies have been approved, applications have been approved, which will give a budget of more than 13 billion, of the 14 billion rand that we budgeted for this financial year. And we are looking at numbers of close to 500,000 beneficiaries, 477,000 beneficiaries on the program that we are calling the labor activation program. I thought, because I missed it, because of many versions of my speech, I've been trying to clean it. There's something that we missed. I think let me talk about that. But otherwise, thank you so much, Program Director, for the questions. We hope you answered in a manner that is satisfactory.
Thank you, Minister. Do we have any follow-up questions? So one more,
When you see some kind of there were two cases where two vessels overturned at sea that belonged to the Sea Harvest. The last time we checked, there were investigations ongoing to the matter. I would like to know if there's maybe a follow-up on the investigations.
Can I ask again IG to talk on that? But I have some information at the political level and in the relations level, but just to talk on us and our role.
Our role in this regard is mostly supportive, because the issue of safety on the sea does not belong to the department. It is a maritime issue, Department of Transport. But there are, just as the Minister was talking about, intergovernmental relations. In the last week of November, we're going to be conducting co-joint and coordinated inspections, particularly in the area of fisheries, to address, amongst other things, this type of incidents.
And already the Minister of Transport is seized with that particular incident, and there's work that we can find details from the department. But as I said, it's going to be one of the areas that we have been focusing on now in the spirit of HR, working with the Department of Transport moving forward.
thank you very much, Minister. Colleagues, I think that brings us to the end of the media briefing. Would like to take this time to thank you, Minister, thank you to the DG, to the top management, and all the stakeholders that have joined us here today for being with us, and thank you for honoring our invitation. The video briefing is closed. Thank you.